Hello everyone, Mr. Creepy as Hell here. Before we get started with this video, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you cut on all notification bells as well to make sure you get notified whenever I release a new video. Also, if you enjoy this video, please like and share. It really helps me out. And one more thing, when you're watching my videos,
make sure you keep all the lights on.
I know unemployment is really hard, and finding a job is nearly impossible, especially in this day and age. But I want you to promise me one thing. Don't go for a job that hires you on the spot after you get done doing the interview, because that's a very huge red flag. A red flag that I disregarded because I needed a job. See, I was laid off my job 3 years ago, and I applied to over 40 different jobs that I knew I was qualified for. But either I'd come in for an interview and they would reject me, or I'd just be rejected through email. I would even try to come in some of these places that I applied to, but they'll always send me packing, telling me that I needed to wait until I get an email. But I would never hear back from these stores that I applied to, or they would just reject me. It was very frustrating. I kept on applying and applying, but the same thing kept happening. I was starting to get low on savings, and I really desperately needed something quickly. I had put out an ad on Reddit that I was looking for a job in my town, that if anyone was hiring, let me know. 3 hours later, I got a notification from a man saying that he needs a receptionist for a job. He didn't tell me what the job was for. He just gave me the address and told me to come on down and bring some paperwork. When I got to the address that was given to me to the place, it was a house, but it was in an area of a royal place. It was surrounded by land, and there was not another house for about 2 miles. It seemed kind of sketchy to me, but I disregarded it because I really needed a job badly. I knocked on the door to this house, and a man opened it up. He welcomed me in. He had this big wide smile that seemed very, uncomfortable. He sat me down and he told me about himself. And then I told him about myself, about my work history and everything. And then immediately after I got done finishing up introducing myself, the man hires me on the spot. The next day I came in to start my very first day on the job. I was just taking calls and doing what I was supposed to do as a desk receptionist. The only thing that was weird about the job there was a lot of things, but 2 things stood out the most. Was one, they only paid in cash, which I thought that was strange. Usually most jobs give you a paycheck or tell you to go get your money through direct deposit, but this guy just gave me cash. And second of all, I was the only worker. I never saw another coworker. It was just me and this guy. He had another boss, I guess you could say, who also works there, but they work in the office together. I thought it was strange that there was no other workers here and that they only paid me through cash, but money was money. It was a job. I said nothing. So what I do there as a receptionist, I usually schedule appointments for my boss. That was my job. But the men I would talk to on the phone, or the people I would talk to, were very sketchy. But I just did my job, and everything was alright. Until it wasn't. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was raining that day. I came in on my last day of work before I had a couple of days off. I started working, taking up calls and doing paperwork. I got up to go use the bathroom because I really had to go. And as I was walking out of the bathroom, headed back into my office, that's when I heard something my boss was saying that scares me to this day.
Yeah, that new kid that I hired, very good at his job, but he's beginning to know too much, and I don't want my business out there. Can't have the cops coming after me. I'm gonna have to get rid of him and get a new desk receptionist. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him once his shift is done. He ain't leaving out of here alive.
When I heard him say that, I felt physically sick, like I wanted to throw up. I had to compose myself because he did not want me to hear this, and if I make any noise and he sees me listening on his conversation, he may speed up that process. I didn't know what I was going to do at that moment. I just sat back down at my desk and thought about it, what was happening, and tried to see if I could psych myself out to think that I may have misheard something. The phone kept on ringing, but I didn't answer it. My gut was telling me I should leave because my life was in danger. And that's what I done. I left and I didn't say anything to the boss. I went back home and I grabbed me a couple of beers to drink because I was frightened. I wanted to calm my nerves down. And before you ask, yes, I called the police, but they didn't do much of anything. They said that I need to have proof of this happening, and I didn't have proof at the moment. It was really horrifying. So I never went back to that job, and luckily my friend was able to get me into a warehouse job, and that's where I work at. Now, I wasn't going to share this story. I was going to leave it alone, but the reason why I'm sharing it is because a couple of weeks ago, when I came back home, I saw that there was a letter attached to my door. I opened it and I read it, and it said, "Do not snitch. We know where you live. Anything you say, we'll know. We're gonna come after you."